up YouTube, Azure9321 here, coming at you with another Duelist choice. I haven't been able to do one in a while because I've been really busy, but here we go. Today it's going to be on Compulsory Evacuation Device. This card's been teched into a lot of decks. A lot of people are deciding to use it now, especially since Fraser Smith teched one into Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers are deciding to use this card a lot. He actually ended up winning YCS Atlanta using this card. I'm going to be comparing it to a few other cards and showing you why Compulse is actually a really good card to use this format. So first, I'll compare it to Solemn Warning. The main reason Compulsory Evacuation Device can be better than Solemn Warning is if you've taken a lot of damage, you just can't pay the life points for Solemn Warning, and it ends up being a dead card, while Compulsory Evacuation Device could return a monster on your opponent's side of the field, and saving you for a turn or even winning you the game. Then I'll compare it to Bottomless Trap Hole. The main time that Compulsory Evacuation Device is better than Bottomless Trap Hole is when your opponent decides to synchro summon this guy, Stardust Dragon. Against Stardust Dragon, Bottomless Trap Hole is pretty much a dead card. They'll just negate it, and their Stardust Dragon will come back at the end of the turn. And Compulse will actually just get rid of Stardust completely, returning to the extra deck. And comparing it to Book of Moon, a lot of the time, both these cards are really good to use to counter one of your opponent's moves. Book of Moon will flip your monster face down or your opponent's monster face down, and Compulse will return the monster back to the hand. Now, a reason Compulsory Evacuation Device is such a good card is because if your opponent decides to use a destruction effect like MST, Dust Tornado, or anything that destroys a spell or trap on the field, you can just chain Compulsory Evacuation Device, return one of your opponent's monsters to their hand, and it's pretty much a one-for-one, unless you returned a synchro, and then you just +1 or even +2. Then, again, comparing it to Book of Moon, if your opponent decides to use other destruction effects, like Mirror Force, in this case, both these cards are actually really good. They'll both pretty much get the same job done. They will save a monster. Compulse will just return to the hand. Book of Moon will leave it face down. It just depends on the circumstance you're in. Then, Torrential Dark Hole. This is where Compulsory Evacuation Device really actually shines, because if your opponent activates either of these cards, Book of Moon is dead. Your monster is just going to be flipped face down. It's going to die anyways. Compulse will return your monster to your hand, saving it, and then every other monster on the field will still be destroyed, but that includes your opponent's monsters. So it could end up meaning that your opponent just destroyed a monster while your monster was saved. Then other times that Compulse is really good is cards like Cyber Dragon, where you just need a requirement to special summon it. Your opponent has one or more monsters on the field, you don't have any. You special summon Cyber Dragon, they chain Bottomless, anything to destroy it, you can just Compulse it back to your hand, and now that threat is gone, you can just special summon it again. This works with other cards like Chaos Sorcerer, as long as you still have the cost to special summon it again, or any cards like that. Comparing it to Book of Moon again, for the last time, again, both of these cards would pretty much get the same job done. It would either, Compulse would return Plague Spider to the hand, or Book would flip it face down, stopping their synchro summon. But Compulse can actually do a much better job than Book of Moon if you decide to let the synchro summon go through. They synchro summon into either Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, or some other synchro. Book of Moon is just going to flip it face down. Compulse, whatever they decide to synchro summon, especially if it's Scrap Dragon, and they decide to call priority on Scrap Dragon's effect to destroy one of their cards, one of your cards, and they target Compulse, you chain your Compulse, and it'll get rid of the threat. Or in Stardust Dragon's case, they summon Stardust, you just Compulse it, either when they summon it or when they attack with it, getting rid of it again. And finally, when you have a searcher in your graveyard like Gear Frame, you can use either Reborn, Call of the Haunted, or something else to bring it back, and then use Compulse to add it back to your hand, summon it again, and then you can special summon you can search your Machina Fortress and special summon it from your hand, discarding another machine. So, now that I've compared Compulse to Book of Moon, Bottomless, Warning, all these cards, honestly it's up to you which card you decide to main deck in your deck. A lot of people are deciding to main deck these. Bottomless is actually, people are starting to not main deck bottomless. They're not even side decking it anymore. And warning, a lot of people are deciding to main deck because it's such a powerful effect. I'm not saying that Compulsory Evacuation Device is a better card than these other three, but at times it could end up helping you more than any of these other three cards, Book, Bottomless, or Warning, because of whatever circumstance you're under. So that's been the Duelist choice on Compulsory Evacuation Device. Let me know what you guys think later.